Here we have basic motor control. This is the most basic circuit you will find in motor control. Here we have a 3-phase feeder to a triple pole normally open contact, which goes down to a 3-phase motor. We have a control circuit. X1 could be 24 volts, 120 volts, or 240 volts. Sometimes higher. You have to check to make sure. Nonetheless, here is our control circuit. We first have a limit switch. Could be one limit switch, could be 100 limit switches, normally closed to complete the circuit. Next we have a stop button. You could have 100 of them. We're going to show you just one. Next we have an auxiliary holding contact on the coil. Now I drew in 2 start buttons to one coil. And here's an overload, which is on a motor starter. If the heaters see too much current to protect the motor, this will open and shut the motor down. Now I'm going to bring it over here to a start right here, close it. There's the motor turning. This is energized. Hit the other start, nothing happens. Hit the stop, just bump the stop. The stop goes back to normally closed, just like it was, but the motor stops because it opened up the normally open auxiliary contact here. We're going to close it again. Up here is a limit switch for something like a cage covering a belt at high speed. We're going to bump it once. It goes back to normally closed. Motor stops. And one more time. There's the motor turning. This time it's the overload relay down here. Too much current for some reason. We're going to just bump it. Motor stops. Everything is back in line and ready to go again, because if you hit the start, and all you're basically doing here is your 3-phase down through the contactor to the motor, your control circuit, 24 to 240 volts, sometimes more, to a limit switch normally closed, stop normally closed, to a normally open start. These are in parallel, but this contact here off the coil has to close. It'll keep it in there until you open just about anything, and we're going to open it again, thermal overload. It stops. Basic motor control.